It's a new day. It's your time to shine. It's time to take your gameplay into your own hands. You've saved up all your BP. Great! Now it's time to put all your eggs into one basket and take a huge gamble on your games. A gamble that comes with a 100% chance of success in some cases. What am I talking about? I'm talking about using brown add-ons. That's right. Add-ons so cheap you have a million of them.
Alright, so today we're talking about the browns. I decided to put all the brown add-ons in one video because there's really not enough to go over with them in their own individual videos. That being said, it's not because they're bad or anything, it's just because there's not much to really say. So I'm going to start with the two worst ones, and then we'll go on to the actual good ones. So first we're going to start with Help Wanted Add. Help Wanted Add shows you the starting trajectory of the fire axe. Basically, it's just a learning tool. It can help you learn exactly how the trajectory is going to go. It isn't instant. You do have to wait a couple seconds for it to actually go off. Now, the thing with this add-on is that while I don't recommend people use it, even when they're learning, at least in an actual match, what it can be very, very helpful with is going into a custom and going around the map and seeing where the axe can fall based on your trajectory, basically to learn lineups. Outside of that, I, again, don't recommend even using it to learn, as relying on it can lead to bad mistakes being made. But if you're going to, it's really not a bad thing, and probably one of the best learning add-ons in the entire game. It's better than Nurses, it's better than Victors, so honestly, highly recommend you trying it out. Next, we have the Rotten Pizza. Again, it's not great, but it's also not terrible. This increases the Killer Instinct from the Fire Axe bubble by 100%. So the Fire Axe bubble is, Killer Instinct is 2 seconds. With this, it goes up to 4. Comboing this with something like Chica's Bib or even Party Hat, you can use the Killer Instinct in very interesting ways. A good combo you can do with this is actually Insidious, ever since it got buffed. You can throw this around the corner of a loop where the survivors can't see you, go undetectable, and you'll know if they're moving because of the Killer Instinct leading them towards you. Here's a good moment of the Killer Instinct actually working in my favor. Without it, I might have thought she went back into the room and might have doubled back, but because I had it, I had the info to know exactly where she was. Down still took a second, but we got it because of it. Where was this earlier, Sable? In general, though, unless you're running a build specifically around missing the axe, this is not something you want to go into. But again, it is not a bad effect on its own. If this is something you want to lean into with Springtrap, using the axe for the info, it can be very, very useful in that sense. That's the other thing I say all the time about all the Springtraps add-on, with the exception of the one.
You can't sit with us!
Who won't be named, but yeah. How many jokes can I make about the Office phone just being bad and how much I hate it? Anyways, yeah, pizza isn't bad. It's just, again, it's a niche thing, but it has a purpose and a use, which leads us on to the other two, which are probably just outright good. First, we have Greasy Paper Plate. This increases the removal time of the axe by 15%. Give or take, this adds about a second to them removing the axe. This can be good if you're running it with Poster, because it means they'll have the axe in them longer. Same with something like Purple Guy Drawing to make that aura reading effect on them longer, and it might encourage them to try to take the axe out more often because they see it takes longer to do. Again, if you're doing a grab build or something that requires the axe to be in them for whatever reason, it can be pretty useful. You can also throw this on maybe a build with iridescent coin to make it so they travel around with the terror radius more often. Anything like that can be very, very good. And the last one is Restaurant Menu. Restaurant Menu reduces the time to retrieve an axe that is embedded in the environment, this needs to be noted, in the environment, by 20%. This saves you about 2 seconds on getting the axe back. So basically, you miss the axe, and you can get it back in 2 more seconds. This add-on is so good. So good to the point to where I'm trying to not run it as often because I was relying on it a lot. But if you have an add-on that I would suggest to learn Springtrap with, instead of Help Wanted Add, I would take Restaurant Menu. On top of that, if you're running something like Foxy's Hook or Chica's Bib or Indo CPU, run this with it and you would be surprised how much it will come in handy. This means that you are not only punished for missing, or not as punished as much for missing, but in those situations where you want to miss because those add-ons a benefit from you missing, you can get the axe back faster. If you do miss, or the survivor is too strong, or you want to go for more fancier hits, or just in general try to get better with the axe, this 20% is insanely good for that. To the point to where I honestly want it kind of partially base kit. I think 10% could be added base kit and keep the add-on at 10%. I think it would be fine. Might be too much, who knows? With how strong Springtrap is, I really don't think it's necessarily going to be that bad. But again, very good learning tool, and in general, just a good add-on to kind of supplement any build. Even if you're going for an axe miss build or an axe hit build, it's a good add-on to run, and always rounds out his kit. I run it with purple guy drawing, I run it with poster, I run it with coin, I even run it with my door builds with streamers and things like that, because again, missing your axe is very punishing with Springtrap at times if you're not doing it properly, and getting it back in an extra 2 seconds can mean the difference between a hit and a down and a hook and a lot of situations like that. But overall, before we get into the rest of this, what I do want to say is that Springtrap's brown add-ons are some of the best in the game, and leads into a lot of Springtrap's good add-on design, because the only add-ons that adjust his numbers in any way other than streamers and badge are the browns. Every other add-on either adds an effect to the axe or changes how it works fundamentally. And that to me proves that Springtrap's add-ons are just very well designed and how more killers need to be. And we've kind of seen this happen. I was overlooking Houndmaster's browns and most of them are like this. But then we go over to Chucky, whose browns are just terrible with one exception of strobe light, and even then that one kind of requires a build around it, so it's not really that good. But this is ideally what you want. None of them are super overpowered, with the exception of maybe menu, but even then it's not needed, it's just really nice. And this is just fundamentally how I feel browns and most add-ons should be made. The browns should be number tweaks and quality of life things, with the yellows, the greens, the blues, whatever colors they are nowadays, the purples, all of those being added effects, whether it's status effects or adding a brand new effect similar to like purple guy drawing. And then all of the purples being things that genuinely change how the power works. And then the iridescence being some kind of powerful effect or something that can, again, just change how the gameplay works fundamentally, but in a major way. Now, do I think these add-ons are the best in the game? Of course not, but I think they are the best designed in the game, and I think that is far more important. And I know this one was shorter than the other ones, and there wasn't really too much to say. Honestly, at the end of the day, there's not really a lot to say about the browns. They're just good.
That's all I have to say about that.
But as always, tell me what you guys think of the browns. I'm going to say keep trying to run them, especially paper plate for grab builds. Trust me, for grab builds, paper plate is great. Menu for helping you with any learning you need to do, and pizza if you really like the KI. Stay away from help wanted that for the most part, unless you're just learning lineups and customs. But love you guys as always. Have a good one. Yeah, bye.
Subscribe, damn it. I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you, you moron.